Have you ever loved someone so deeply that you forgot who you were? What if one of history's most profound philosophers told you that this kind of love is not just unhealthy, it's dangerous? Friedrich Hegel's disturbing insight into the nature of obsessive love is not just relevant, it's chillingly accurate. If you're a man who has ever loved too hard, what you're about to hear might shake the foundation of everything you believe about relationships. 1. Hegel's dialectic of love, the dangerous cycle in Hegel's philosophy. Every concept evolves through contradiction, the thesis, antithesis, and synthesis. Love, too, follows this pattern. A man falls in love, thesis. He loses himself in this love, antithesis. Eventually, he either reclaims himself or is completely consumed, synthesis. But the danger lies in stopping at the antithesis. Men who love too hard often never reach the stage of synthesis. They stay lost in their obsession, thinking that devotion equals value. Hegel would argue that when love becomes fixation, it is no longer a shared experience, but an emotional trap. The dialectic must continue, or the lover remains imprisoned in one state, without transformation. 2. The master-slave relationship in modern love. Hegel's master-slave dialectic applies hauntingly well to romantic dynamics. When a man revolves his world around a woman, he becomes this slave, seeking validation, afraid to assert his own identity. The woman becomes the master, even if she never asked for it. But Hegel teaches us something crucial. The slave holds the real power. Through suffering and self-awareness, he can break free and redefine himself. This is the journey every man who loves too hard must take. This power dynamic subtly infiltrates modern relationships. The man who does everything to please may think he's being noble, but in reality, he is silencing his voice. He becomes invisible in the name of love. Hegel's warning is clear. The price of ignoring the dialectic is self-erasure. 3. Losing identity in the pursuit of unity. Hegel believed that love should unite, but not erase individuality. The man who loves too hard often seeks total unity, losing his goals, identity, and sometimes even dignity. He thinks merging with her will make him whole. But Hegel warns, when unity turns into collapse, you're no longer loving, you're dissolving. In Hegelian terms, love is supposed to be the synthesis of two sovereign selves, not the annihilation of one for the sake of the other. This is where many men falter. They romanticize sacrifice, believing it's proof of love. But love that requires your disappearance is not love. It's self-abandonment. 4. Alienation. Becoming a stranger to yourself. Alienation, in Hegelian terms, is when you become disconnected from your true self. In love, this looks like a man who stops recognizing his own reflection. He adapts entirely to his partner's needs and desires. His world becomes hers. Eventually, he wakes up hollow. He doesn't know what he believes, wants, or dreams about anymore. This alienation is spiritual death, according to Hegel. And the worst part? This man often believes he's doing the right thing. He sees his sacrifice as noble. But over time, this self-estrangement breeds resentment, depression, and a desperate longing for the self he gave up. 5. The loss of freedom and devotion. Freedom is sacred in Hegel's world. Yet, men who love too hard willingly surrender it. They avoid conflict, agree to things they don't believe in, and shrink their existence to please their partner. But Hegel warns, love without freedom is not love. It's emotional slavery. When a man silences his truth to keep peace he is not maintaining love, he's suffocating it. Genuine love requires space for disagreement, boundaries, and the courage to say no. Hegel reminds us that freedom is not selfish, it is essential. 6. Idealization as a trap. Idealizing a woman, seeing her as flawless, isn't love. It's projection. According to Hegel, this type of love is doomed. You're not relating to a real person, but a fantasy. When reality breaks through, the disappointment is catastrophic. And worse, by worshiping her, you lower yourself. You create imbalance and emotional chaos. Hegel challenges us to confront our projections. Who is she really, apart from your fantasy? If your love depends on her being perfect, it will collapse. Real love begins when idealization ends. 7. False love versus transformative love. Hegel believed in love that transforms through struggle, conflict, and growth. The man who loves too hard avoids this struggle. He chooses peace over truth, harmony over authenticity. But without friction, love can't evolve. Without challenge, you don't grow. And without growth, love dies. This type of false love is what Hegel would call a stagnation of spirit. It's a comfort zone disguised as passion. True love is messy. It demands self-awareness, conflict, and a mutual evolution. To love someone deeply, you must also love the truth. 8. The rebirth through synthesis. For the man who loved too hard, there is a way out. Hegel's synthesis comes through self-reclamation. You must accept the death of your dependent self. You must face your fear of being alone. Only then can you be reborn. This new self is sovereign, whole, and free to love without losing himself. He can now engage in love that is conscious, grounded, and equal. He doesn't seek completion in someone else, but instead shares his wholeness. This is the man who has transcended emotional servitude. 9. Self-realization over self-sacrifice. Love should never mean giving up who you are. Hegel's wisdom urges men to pursue self-realization, not self-destruction. Your dreams, boundaries, and beliefs matter. If you suppress them to stay loved, you'll eventually feel resentment, shame, and emptiness. The path to true love begins with self-loyalty. Hegel believed that spirit only flourishes through self-awareness. When a man truly knows and honors himself, he becomes magnetic, not because he begs to be loved, but because he no longer needs to be saved. 10. Loving without disappearing. So how do you love deeply but stay whole? The Hegelian answer: with consciousness and courage. Know yourself. Speak your truth. Stay grounded. And most of all, remember that love should elevate, not erase you. A man who understands this doesn't beg. He doesn't worship. He doesn't vanish. He loves boldly, with presence, with boundaries, and with strength. If this message resonates with you, subscribe to our channel for more deep, unfiltered breakdowns of modern relationships through the lens of philosophy and psychology. Share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever loved too hard? What did it cost you? Like, subscribe, and click the bell icon because your mind deserves the truth.